Sweet Baby Inc. claims another life in the form of Reflector Entertainment. You might recall that they were the studio that put out Unknown 9 Awakening, and the Unknown 9, well, that's the amount of people that were playing the game when it launched in the latter part of 2024. But Reflector Entertainment, creator of Unknown 9, says it's a complete failure and employees will be fired. The future projects have all been canceled. And you remember, like, Reflector Entertainment, right? Like, this was a game that was published by Bandai Namco, okay? Like, this wasn't some indie fair. Like, they had significant, funding and resources behind them. But hey, man, we know where all of those resources ended up going. Diversity and Inclusion Committee, this employee-run committee mission is to raise awareness and accountability about issues related to diversity and inclusion. Its goal is to promote dialogue and action to ensure diversity remains the priority and assets across all of our companies' endeavors. Yeah, it's so awesome that you're promoting diversity, people that are and aren't employed. A proud member of the Canadian, why is it always this bullshit? Anyways, of Diversity and Inclusion, Reflector supports its D&I. Oh, not DEI, not equity, because I guess he couldn't afford the E. In its ongoing projects, including contributions to Canada-wide and Montreal-based organizations. So he's hilarious how stupid French Canada always wants to separate itself to the rest of the country. It's like, I wish you would. And participation is in industry-wide D&I initiatives such as Raise the Game Diversity Pledge. Yeah, that's fantastic. Hopefully they have places where you can go to work. But the Sweet Baby Inc. infected Reflector Entertainment admits that it was a failure. And yeah, now the only thing that's left to do is the crying. Reflector Entertainment, the developer of Unknown 9 Awakening, admitted its entire transmedia project centered around the video game is a failure. In a post to LinkedIn, CEO Herve Hodert of Reflector Entertainment announced that the company would be laying off employees due to the game's failure, and that the company would not be working on a future project that was in a concept phase. Oh no, when have we heard this before of games and companies and studios that have worked with Sweet Baby Inc. before? Was that Tales of Kenzara Zao? Oh, the same thing happened over there when they were trying to say, oh no, everything's all fine and on the up and up, and we got future projects, and then a couple of months later, oopsie daisy, we're shutting things up. We're rolling up the carpets. What was that? Even for some of the more successful and higher profile targets and games, rather. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League couldn't quite get over that 1 year live service marker. Oh well, better luck next time. Well, it'll be with a lighter load as well, so I guess he could fail a little bit more spectacularly because he'd been laying off 2 rounds of layoffs just in 2024. Great stuff there. Alan Wake 2, Remedy Entertainment still have yet to turn a profit, but don't worry, SBI can continue to mess up any future projects because they've decided to go down with the diversity ship. Good on them. But no, you can't point to a single successful title that came out in 2024 that had the mark, I was going to say the mark of Sauron, or, even just, the white hand of Saruman. I guess it would be the black foot of Kim Belair. It doesn't quite have the same ring. Anyways, Hodert wrote, "Today I informed our teams that I made the decision to not greenlight further work on a future project and that it was in the conceptualization phase, and thus terminating this development line. Continuing this project would not have been sustainable for the future of the studio," he added. "Regrettably, it also means that there will be redundancies following this decision." Oh yeah, right, yeah. We're not working on anything else, so we're just going to have to look at who's going to become expendable. Funny, everybody but me, actually. Funny how that works. Okay, bye. Next, he admitted Unknown 9 Awakening's failure. This decision correlates directly with the failure of the studio's ambitious and courageous first project, a new IP with a rich transmedia universe. Oh, see, even the game's trans now. The performance of the release didn't come near the company expectations after numerous timeline adjustments and investments, both financially and otherwise, and didn't warrant any further exploration in this universe. They're killing it stone dead, not going, oh, we'll just wait for another time when potentially we could go ahead until more fertile fields. Is like, no, this shit sucked, it died, and we're done with it. All right then. From there, he detailed that current staff that is not getting laid off will be assigned to existing Bandai Namco IP. So yeah, they're just getting folded into, probably making a Dragon Ball game or being support staff from FromSoft projects. Imagine that, right? Like we've talked about recently, Bandai Namco's problems and their DEI adherence. Are they looking around at other satellite studios and going, you know what, this probably isn't necessarily working. The shit that really kicked off for us last year and has worked for us and performed for us and made us a force in the industry, yeah, they don't really do that stuff. Like, just, looking over at FromSoft, they're one of the few studios that went, no, actually, we're not laying off anybody, and we're giving bonuses to our staff. Shift Up, the guys behind Stellar Blade, $3,400 to everybody, and PS5 Pro, which I don't know why you'd saddle them with such an expensive paperweight. I guess to keep down their bonuses. The games that worked last year, where I know, right, like this is going to shock you, better sit down here for a second, didn't adhere to the message. Very strange how that ends up working. And you can't point to one single game that ended up working in the long term because, yeah, there were some woke elements to Black Ops 6, and that thing did gangbusters off rip. And what are we hearing now? Like 90% of the user base has fled, and they've found a refuge at Marvel Rivals, which continues to go up and up and up and up, and outside of Chinese communist ownership. You can't really say that the game is woke. Can't say that the game is disrespecting the source material or attacking the fans. It's doing exactly the opposite, and it's thriving. In a now deleted blog post, Reflector Entertainment's general manager Marc-André Seguin announced the company was reducing our team by approximately 18% of Reflector's total workforce. Yeah, that was back in November, right? Yeah. As for why the layoffs were happening, Seguin stated today's announcement isn't driven by commercial success or external pressures, but stems instead from our current reality, which is at this time we cannot guarantee tangible work for all of our talented individuals we employ. Well, if you actually employed talented individuals, you wouldn't be in this situation because you would actually have a successful game on your hands. He then ended, with the recent release of Unknown 9 Awakening and our 2 key production lines entering the early stages of development, well, not anymore, we must make sure that our staff is laser focused on contributing to those projects that wholly benefit from their skill set. Later in the post, again said, this shift will allow us to take the necessary time to refine our process and perfect our upcoming projects so that we can deliver experiences that are both meaningful and memorable for players. Aw, see, that's so fantastic, with such memorable main characters and heroines like, vaguely Indian girl. Sure, Unknown 9 Awakening only hit an all-time peak concurrent player count of 285 when it released in the middle of October. Yep, right before the very busy holiday season when such games like Dragon Age the Veilguard came out. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Unknown 9 Awakening had, it had an opportunity, and as you can see right there, well, don't let the graph fool you, okay? You might see that big old release date bump, but realize that, yeah, that peaks out at 285, and when the screenshot was taken, 20 people over the weekend and 9 people currently playing the game. Like, it was dead. It was dead the moment that it came out, and poor player counts came in the wake of the game being openly boycotted by numerous gamers after it was revealed that Reflector not only employed Sweet Baby Inc. co-founder David Bedard, but it had contracted with the company's CEO Kim Belair to be the story architect. Yeah, you can see in the credits right there that they got the screenshot. Kim Belair, story architect at Sweet Baby Inc. They were very much involved with this game, and that just shows you that they're just, I guess they're good at their job in so much as Sweet Baby Inc. can really extract resources from a company, but at least for what they purport to do, being a story and a narrative consultancy firm, they're kind of shit at that, because we've seen the gameplay, okay? There were some snippets, and there were a couple of videos going around of Unknown 9, and well, the AI looked as janky as anything that other AAA studios could put out, okay? Like, it was pretty bad, but in general, like, the story and the character design, it's like, yeah, we already knew that Sweet Baby Inc. was on the game without you having to tell us they were on the game. But Bedard and Belair's involvement were confirmed by the Shorty Awards that listed their credits on the entire branded project for Unknown 9. Yeah, man, chalk that up. Another Sweet Baby Inc. failure. Another studio closed because they decided to fly way too close to the sun on that one. And we've also seen recently, and I think I put that video out, and it's like Sweet Baby Inc. hasn't lost any steam in the industry. They're working on and in collaboration with at least 30 other major projects, which is wild to think about, that there are that many bombs on the horizon. Now, 2025, as it sits right now, and at the time of recording, we're just ahead of the first major press conference announcement-esque event, with Xbox putting out some developer direct thing or whatever, but Sony has yet to really do much in a way of, announcing what they're going to be doing. But after the conclusion of fiscal year 24 at the end of March, I'd imagine things are going to start picking up. Like announcements coming in spring, I'd imagine they're going to be fast and furious, especially, right after the confirmation when the Switch 2 is going to be coming out. If Rockstar finally sets a concrete date for GTA 6 release window, then you'll probably start to get a lot more tentpole releases lining up before GTA 6, hoping that they don't end up getting, stomped out by that tidal wave. But PlayStation, man, how as soft as they were in 2024, like they put out Astrobot, which every time that I see that game played, it looks fun as hell. They have so many IPs that they could do anything with, that they just simply refuse to do anything productive with. And Xbox has some tantalizing announcements, but as it sits right now, I have no faith in their creative projects and their creative process, rather. So it's going to be, it's probably going to be a little bit more eventful in 2025, especially with a major console release, and then also, things finally getting back up to speed. But at the same time, for as many exciting things that are on the horizon, there's also a fair few bombs, especially with these consultancy companies really on their final legs, because they have been exposed by the industry. But a lot of these contracts are finally coming to fruition. So yeah, just when you thought you were out of the worst of it, I'd imagine that it's going to get even more hilarious from there. Hopefully we get at least another Dustborn level cringe, or Dragon Age, the Veilguard equivalent pronouns and non-binary scenes. A boy can dream, I guess. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo, and I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.